finished school. And then because of that, I was like graduating. And I think everyone's kind of at that crux when you're graduating from college. You're like, I have this degree, but for the first time, my life isn't outlined for me, right? Like it's not like a standard school year or, then I'm going to college and then I'm doing this and everything's set up. You're like, well, I could do anything, or at least that's how it felt to me. I was like, I could move anywhere. I could apply to any entry level job. I can do whatever I want. And like, it's all fair game. And so there was just a piece of me that was like, I need to know what that skeleton thing is. And I, was gonna ski bum for a winter anyway. And why not do that in Park City where there's a track and I can slide at night? And there was a program, and I looked into having an incredible coach who was like perfect at introducing me to the sport and building it up. And so kind of just like this following the things that felt really true to me or really exciting to me that I cared a lot about. And that care made me want to be better and better. And yeah, just certain moments of definitely like, all right, I'm going to jump. Like, we'll see how this lands. But it's a lot of little decisions, I think, building up to that and checking in to make sure that that's something you want to jump into.
You talk about this post-college part of your life. And for a lot of people, that's an incredibly, incredibly difficult transition for multiple reasons, right? Especially as a collegiate athlete, because you're used to sort of showing up, having practice, having that structure, having that team aspect. That's who you eat with. That's who you hang out with. That's who you see every day. And so that transition, not just from an athletic standpoint, but from a social standpoint, like all of it just quickly, quickly drops. And so many college athletes struggle with that, right? There's also then that academic piece of sort of you're studying for something, you're always going to the next thing, you go from one school to the next to the next. And so there's this line of structure that both athletics as well as academics provides. And then within that is kind of everything is outlined. It's interesting because then so many of us look and say, okay, what is our next step? And we feel like we have to figure out our next step, whether it's grad school, whether it's a job, whether it's an internship, whether it's whatever. But that's also the first time in our lives where now we have the luxury of time. And we can really utilize that to say, let me explore, right? Let me learn more about myself, not what I need to learn in a textbook or in a classroom, right? Like, let me take a class in life, not a class in sociology or psychology or biology or whatever it is, right? And so for you to sort of pivot and say, I'm going to go and try this thing out, but then also say, well, what did I like about team sports? Well, I liked working together. I liked being collaborative. I like adrenaline. And so we take these concepts that we learned in athletics that motivated us, that inspired us, right? That competitive edge that you talked about earlier, right? Wanting to get better at something, wanting to kind of hone your craft. And so all of those concepts that allowed you to be able to be successful and also connect with your sport, you're able to take that, extract that, and sort of apply that to something else. But within it, then you learn more about yourself and sort of adapt within that. And you find a whole nother sport, right? And how many people are going to expect that a soccer player is going to end up going headfirst on a sled in a luge? Like, it's not something we see, but the ability to be creative and explore and just to like see where life takes you opens you up to so many different possibilities. And to me, I think that that's the brilliance in all of this, is whether you're going from one sport to another, but the ability to sort of be open and creative to learning more about yourself and having different experiences, traveling to different places, learning about yourself in different ways can open up so many possibilities, right? That can lead to other things that you never would have expected, right?